Can I just say, when Johnny gets us into the Christmas spirit.
He does. He
does.
committed.
Like, that was unexpected.
We're decorated.
Yeah, like I came down here, he's got garland, he's got lights, and a new intro.
Right.
Which was great. Welcome to PREVIEWSworld Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, aka the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day.
All right. What's going on? Can you give anybody just a little bit of something for Free Comic Book Day? Or just at least remind them what it is, even though Trey behind you.
It is right behind me. It is the first Saturday in May, but specifically May 6th, 2023. There's 44, there it is. 44 books you can get absolutely free on Free Comic Book Day at your local comic shop. You head over to freecomicbookday.com. There's a little button on the top toolbar that says comics, and that'll be the full list of books you can get for free. There is literally something for everybody. We try to make it that way every year. If you're not a big comic book reader and you want to explore and try something, there'll be things there that you recognize, maybe shows you've liked, The Witcher, Umbrella Academy. There's always Marvel Avengers books. Yep. And then if you're more like in the weeds and you want to find like a new indie darling, we have plenty of those too.
All right, there's manga too.
Yeah.
I know that's the weapon of choice, or the choice of a whole generation, right, as we like to say.
When we announced these books, so Viz Media is doing a Trojan X book as their gold title.
Right, that's right.
And there was so much hype about this Trojan book. Like, it was the #1 book that I saw in the comment section on Free Comic Book Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I have no idea what it is.
Me neither.
I have no idea, but I'm curious. So I will get to find out on Free Comic Book Day.
Me too.
And you guys who are all excited about it get your get this thing that you're clearly excited about, because I don't know
this thing you love. I know nothing about it, but I am excited for you to love it.
I mean, maybe it's like the new, the new Attack on Titan or new Chainsaw Man. Like that's actually one of the interesting things about our job, is we get to see these trends kind of happen before they really take off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be one of those situations. So yeah, definitely let us know if you're familiar with the Trojan X. First time you said it, I was like, Trojan X? What?
Yes. Could you imagine?
Trojan X. From Disney.
Johnny's like, we're going to stop that now.
What are you guys talking about? What? I don't get it. No? Okay, never mind.
That's an entirely different comic.
Today.
That's an entirely different comic.
I'm so happy. I think I finally got my hair back in order here. Like, I was having a rough time with this last couple of weeks, and
I think it looks good.
I committed. I was like, you know what? I need to make this hair thing work for me again.
You were having like some alfalfa pieces.
I was doing a lot of it was like a lot of weird stuff going on there for a second, and I just realized, you know what? You just gotta, take care of it. How about that?
It worked. You did it. Mission accomplished.
There you go. I wore a shower cap, I want to point out. Have you ever worn a shower cap, Ashton?
Unfortunately, I have.
I was about to say, you must have.
Ooh, it's a chore too.
So yeah, that's the level I'm at right now. So I feel for you. I feel for all women at this point, because there was an extra 30 minutes of my morning today.
It's like trying to stuff your hair into it.
Right, exactly. And I mean, it's going to keep growing. So other things that are going on with PREVIEWSworld, right? I'm excited for this. We got an episode of the panel on Friday, and it's focused on Klaus.
Sexy Santa.
Which apparently now is just Sexy Santa. So
I feel like I should know something about this book at this point. All I know is this guy's ripped.
So it is. So it's Grant Morrison. Is one of my favorite writers.
Of course.
He's doing a very an origin story for Santa Claus, and
so pre-Santa. He's not Santa.
Pre-Santa, right?
Okay.
I've read like about a quarter of the book so far. It's very engaging, very entertaining. And you kind of get this idea of like, it's definitely a fantasy realm, right?
Okay, sure.
He's pulling from the Scandinavian origins, I guess, of Santa Claus, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You're getting into the weeds about why does he give gifts to children, and there's an evil kingdom involved, and it's really interesting. It's intricate without being too involved, which is actually really interesting for a Grant Morrison book, because Grant Morrison can get really
in the weeds.
Intricate, right? Really intricate. That's on Friday, December 23rd. It's going to be me, Anamia, Natasha, aka Canadol X. We're going to talk about this. Ashton bowed out of this one. She had an option too, but she said, you know what, I need time to read this, and I'm not going to have time to. So, yeah.
I wasn't interested in speed reading it and giving a half-assed opinion.
I totally get that. I typically when it comes to me being on the panel, that's usually my my goal too, is I don't want to have to read this very quickly. I want to kind of spend some time with it and kind of absorb it. But so far, it's been fun. It's been cool. Been reading a little bit by bit, and we'll have nice little commentary on the series this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, December 23rd, Friday, right before Christmas Eve. check it out, The Panel. And in case you didn't notice, it is the holidays.
Woo!
Woo!
I wore my sweater.
You wore your sweater. I don't have a Christmas sweater to
Lame.
speak of. I'm sorry.
Lame.
I don't know if I said this on the show or if I said that. I was going to get one of those, the Die Hard sweatshirts to say, now I have the machine gun, ho, ho, ho. I say this every year and I never do it.
You gotta commit one year.
I'm sorry.
I mean, all you really have to do is buy a gray sweatshirt and just a marker.
I feel like that's more effort than just buying it off of Amazon and calling it a day.
It might be more effort to do that.
I could have just done that, but I just forgot to. So at least I'm wearing red because I knew
Yeah.
both of you. I knew you two in particular. We didn't get a shot of Johnny. Is Johnny showing himself? Yeah.
There we go.
I knew you two were gonna have Christmas sweaters.
That's a good Christmas sweater.
So at least we're matching this week.
We are all in red at least.
All in red.
All
There
right,
you go.
we're winners.
So yeah, we're not doing our usual show. We're skipping the paranoid robot talk.
Just for this week.
The Star Wars bashing and the dismissal of Avatar: The Way of Water.
I did see that movie.
Oh, you know what we do? Oh, you know what? Actually, do we have time to talk about this real quick?
We have all the time in the world. This is the Previews World Weekly Holiday Christmas Party.
There you go. So what? So you saw Avatar?
I did.
What was your takeaway?
I liked it.
Okay. All right.
Which I've sat on this show for weeks and talked an insane amount of garbage about this movie, and I liked it. And I think what really sealed it for me is that this one in particular is much more character driven. It's much more about the Na'vi people,
good.
whereas the first one is more about like Pandora as a planet.
The world, yeah.
Yeah, and their spiritual connection to it. So I liked it better because it was more about the characters. James Cameron can't miss in terms of something that's just like visually a masterpiece.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So it was incredible to look at. Your mileage may vary depending on how you feel about the plot. It rehashes some things from the first movie, which I thought was maybe a little repetitive.
Okay.
But overall, I was wrong. I'll say it. I was wrong.
All right.
I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I was crying in the club. It had some emotional
Oh,
elements
really?
to it. Yeah.
Okay, all right, interesting. Wow. Yeah. All right, okay. Well, I maybe I'll give it another look then, because I mean, as the reviews come out, one of the consistent things I hear are, it's visually stunning.
Absolutely.
There's more emphasis on character, definitely what you said. The plots,
Yeah.
and that's it. And I'm sort of like, well, it doesn't sound too bad. Like I just, I mean, I guess that's not too far removed from the first film from a lot of people. Like, I mean, it was character driven up front, but then it became just a kind of a CG fest, which kind of took me out of it. I also didn't see it in 3D, which I think is probably a big component of it. Did you see it in 3D?
So I saw the first one in 3D, which I thought was really interesting. I didn't see this one in 3D.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't feel like it took anything away from it, having seen the first one in 3D.
Okay.
My stupid brain didn't realize that like the water Na'vis, like they would be different. Like they would look different.
Oh,
I'm just like, all these blue people are blue people and all these blue people look the same.
Yeah.
Not thinking that like even humans don't look the same. Why would all of these people look the same?
Interesting.
So the ones living by the water have different, like they're still blue, but there's
Right,
different things about them because they live at the water. Like their tail is more like a flipper.
Oh, okay, so they're more distinctive in
Yeah.
ways. Okay, interesting. All right. I mean, maybe I'll give it a chance. Although I think it's gonna really come down to this or Silent Night, Violent. Was it Silent Night, Violent Night? Is that the one with the
Violent Night.
Violent Night? There you go.
yeah.
Sorry. Probably gonna go see that this weekend.
Ilya saw that yesterday and he said it was super good.
Okay.
He had a lot of
Yeah.
fun with it.
I think that's more my speed. I think I'm way into that right now. I might go see that instead. But I'll watch Avatar later down the line. Okay, we're also going to do a gift exchange, which we promise will be very awkward.
Yes.
Some geeky Christmas nostalgia will be in play as well. And we're going to play a game.
Yeah.
Bringing back Previews Game
We're
Night.
going to play a game.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, so I don't know. Did you want to at least kind of give people a heads up on if they want to play along?
Yeah,
Johnny?
so basically we're going to be bringing back what we did a little bit of in the pandemic, and that's playing some Quiplash too. I've done a couple holiday-themed prompts for this round, and if anyone wants to join, they can go to jackbox.tv, and we'll have a code up in a minute for people to play along at home. Play the at-home version of Previews World Weekly this week.
Okay, cool. I actually just noticed too, Johnny's got a matching background this week.
I just
noticed that.
Wow. We're all the same.
I did change that because I'm like, you know what? We're going to be united as one. I'm going to come out of the control center here and and just be in the
Join
same
us.
fractal, strange-looking background as you guys.
We're all in red sweaters. We all have the same
There
background.
you go. We're on a roll.
One of us.
This is giving me the
One of
holiday mood.
us.
I like this.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. All right, we are going to do one thing that we do every single week, right? Which is we got to do the new releases.
Oh.
So we're going to give you guys our
right.
picks, right? Why do you sound surprised? You just forgot about that part? Did you pick anything this week?
I did. I picked it. It's even in my notes. I see it
Like,
right there.
Oh, that's right. So here we go. Hallelujah. It is. We haven't done that in a while. But anyway, Hallelujah is new release Wednesday, and here are our picks. All right. Do you want to
I swear to God,
prove that
I'm
you
ready.
have a pick this
I
week?
do, and you know what? My pick is like thematically correct. There's a through line here because my pick has to do with cryptids.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we're going to return to our cryptid conversation from last week. So my pick this week is Sulphur Wells #3 from Blood Moon Comics. I picked it because the cover art caught my eye immediately.
Okay.
So the #3 is out this week, but I think I'm going to have to go back and get the first two as well. I don't want to start with a #3. I think that'd be a little bit confusing. But it's about this guy right here on the cover who is like a lake cryptid. It focuses on a rural town that's built around a large man-made lake. And they have all of these local urban legends about like this lake monster, lake dweller, merman possible thing. So he's the center here, and it revolves around everybody and their interactions with him, sightings of him, and kind of how he fits into the community as this like larger than life figure, which is kind of how it is, true to form. Like people that live in the Pacific Northwest are like, Bigfoot's a part of my existence, and that might be true for them. So I think that's interesting, and also cryptids on the brain.
On the brain. It's actually funny you mentioned that. This is total aside, but which is also a thing we do a lot of.
Yeah.
But no, it's funny that you mentioned there was this documentary I was watching about a drug deal and
Excellent.
where do they normally spot Bigfoot? It's like Canada or something like that.
Canada, Washington State a lot.
Washington State, yeah. There was some documentary I was watching about Washington State and this drug deal that gone wrong and all this other stuff, and how it engulfed this area for like about a couple of months or something like
wow.
that. But a big component of that was Bigfoot. And just how it's ingrained into the culture.
Okay,
like,
sure.
And just how that kind of was what the place was known for previous to that.
Okay.
So it was just kind of interesting to see, like, okay, this really is part of their culture.
Yeah, definitely.
Like this is like even if you don't believe in it, like, it's everywhere.
I have to believe Scotland's getting tourist dollars for people going to Lake
For
Loch Ness.
Yeah, absolutely. Total side, but yeah. My pick this week, a couple of weeks ago, I picked a book called Ninja Funk.
Yeah, I remember.
#2 is out this week. And
on it.
I read issue 1 last night.
Ooh, and what'd you
So I'm
think?
playing catch up, and I loved it. I thought
Nice,
it was really
great.
cool. It's kind of interactive too, which I actually love about it as well.
How do you mean?
So actually, I'll get to that because
Okay.
it's a wild concept. It's about warring DJs within this sci-fi setting.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah,
I
right?
do remember this now.
And
Yeah.
one group is trying to save the universe from being off key, right? Which I love, right?
Such a great idea.
It's such a great concept, right? The other faction doesn't believe in this almost a spiritual thing about the universe being off key, right?
Okay.
They're just kind of like just greedy, like DJs who just want to like make basic music, I guess is what it really boils down to, right?
Lame.
And so it's colorful, it's uncanny, and it does this cool thing with QR codes, which I absolutely love. And it's so funny. As I was reading, I was like, man, who'd have known before the pandemic the QR codes are going to pay off in such a big way?
Before the pandemic, I was like, oh, how are you making me do this with
Right.
the QR code? And now I'm like, you have a QR code I can just use.
Yeah, just use this. I don't want to touch anything. But no, it's cool because because these are warring DJ factions, there'll be moments where the characters will be like, okay, I'm gonna drop a beat, I'm gonna play some music, I'm gonna, do some needle drops, and so there's always a QR code embedded into either. It'll be like embedded into a rock behind the character, or embedded into like the vinyl, like an LP or something like that. And so I'm reading this book and I'm just scanning on my phone, and then literally I'm listening to the track as I'm reading the book.
Oh, I love that.
So it's actually really cool.
such a good
It's kind of a
idea.
brilliant way to. I mean, it's like obvious, but at the same time, it's like no, I've never seen that anyone do that with a comic
Right.
before. You know, to make it so much a part of the story. So I actually love
so
that,
cool.
and it really kind of like only improved my experience with this book that already looks really
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, that's Ninja Funk #2. There's about 4 or 5 different covers.
Nice.
Coming out this week.
Sweet.
And yeah, they're just having this is just a fun title. And like you should definitely check it out because it's definitely a lot of fun. Also, my other pick, I'm cheating because I got 2 picks this week. I picked Kaya issue 1 a couple months, about 2 months ago.
Yeah, I remember that
On the
one.
strength of Wes Craig's art. Wes Craig, he worked in Deadly Class.
Right.
I'm a big Wes Craig fan. And so a second printing of #1 just dropped today.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for
Right,
them.
Good for them. And this is another creative use of a sci-fi setting. So, and it also has great art, which is just like Ninja Funk. So the idea is that Kai is like the cynical sister of this prince without a kingdom.
Okay.
And the idea is their home was eradicated for reasons we're still getting to know as we read the story. And now they're lone survivors of this culture that is pretty much dead. And they have like these, they'll have like these sacred, they have these scrolls from their culture that like, they're like, should we barter with this? But the sacred, but does it mean, like, can we get anything? Can we get food for this? Like, stuff like that. And they're kind of traipsing this post-apocalyptic landscape, which is also part of this larger story. They're bartering, they're surviving, they're making allies. And basically, I guess the best way I could put it is like, imagine your favorite fantasy realm, like, Avatar, Lord of the Rings, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And imagine that realm got obliterated for some major reason, right? And now all the kingdoms are in this Mad Max world.
Oh, God.
Right, yeah. So it's like, the orcs are kind of like the orcs are kind of like oh God, why am I blanking on the War Boys in Fury Road?
Oh my God.
That's the type of thing they're doing. So it's like there's like these lizard people that just ride these things like through the desert and like they're trying to make allies, but also trying to like defend their kingdom, and it's just kind of cool stuff like that. There's just like everything's been all these magical elements have been kind of like stripped down. And like everyone's kind of like going through it basically.
I love that. I love post-apocalyptic.
Right.
That sounds like that, but make it magic.
And I kind of like, as I'm reading, I was like, damn it, he tricked me into reading a fantasy book.
Got you.
But I mean, because
Sucker.
typically I wouldn't go for that, but like I would totally go for post-apocalyptic.
Sure.
But I probably wouldn't always go for fantasy,
Yeah.
right? And so this kind of worked on me. Again, great art by Wes Craig. Some intriguing world building by Wes Craig, because he also wrote the book too.
Oh, nice.
Also, Kai has a metal arm, and that's kind of kick-ass, and that's fun.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, so 2 and 3 already out. #1, the reprint hit this week, and I guess #2, the reprint hit this week as well. So definitely check that out. That's from Image Comics. It's Kaya. And that, of course, is not all that's available at your local comic shop. We have Anna Mia here, and she's going to give you a rundown of some of the premier titles that are available at your local comic shop this week. Check this out.
Hey Previews World, Mia here with a look at what's at comic shops for the week of December 21st, 2022. So let's jump on in. And happy holidays! For more info on these titles and others, head on over to previewsworld.com/new releases.
All right, and of course, that's just some of what's available at your local comic shop. As Mia pointed out, you can go to PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases and get a full rundown. And I'm not just talking about comics. I'm talking about toys. I'm talking about manga. I'm talking about graphic novels. I'm talking about games. It's all right there, PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases. And we'll actually show you some of the toy items that are available this week later on in the show. Johnny just corrected me on something. Kaya, number 2 is the second printing this week. So there's definitely copies of number 1 still floating around already. But yeah, complete your set. There's 3 issues already. If you're curious, it sounded cool to you, definitely go ahead and check that out. Johnny, we got some comments?
Yes, we do. Let's see who we got. We have our usual friends, Ubaldo. Hello,
Ubaldo.
everybody.
What's up, Ubaldo?
Andy Fox saying hi.
Hey.
Welcome, Andy. Good to see you. Ubaldo saying loving all the Christmas decor. Thank you.
Yeah, you killed it, Johnny.
You did.
Thank you.
Unexpected.
Andy saying she also liked Avatar 2 better than Avatar 1 for the same reason that Ashton said.
Okay.
Let's see. Stantastic4 is saying happy holidays, everyone. Love the sweaters and lights.
Nice.
Nice.
And everyone's favorite troll, Mystical Green Beanie. Troy out here lacking nothing but coal and copies of The Dark Knight in your stocking.
Damn. That felt personal.
That's pretty good. I'm assuming he means The Dark Knight Strikes Again, because I'd be fine with a copy of The Dark Knight. He's talking about the movie. Okay, I hate you for that. That's awful. I don't appreciate that at all. Our personal Grinch, Mystical Green Bean.
I know, really. Every week it's just like sassy comments.
I think it's my personal Grinch. I don't think he's the show's Grinch. He's just my personal
Right,
Grinch.
he's just here for you.
He's just here to troll me. All right, so we are going to play a round.
Let me actually sit in the frame.
We're going to play a round of Quiplash with Jackbox TV. Johnny,
Yes.
how can people play along?
Okay, so let me get this here. Okay, so basically, if you want to play along with us, you can go to jackbox.tv on your mobile device or your web browser and enter in this code RQJF. And we have enough room here for 5 people to join us if you want to play along. Now, as you're playing, just remember that there is a bit of a delay from what we're seeing here versus what you're seeing as you're watching this stream. So as these prompts and these questions come up, you'll want to pay attention to either your phone or your computer, like wherever you're playing along with us, because that's where you're going to be able to see the questions and the prompts and everything come up in real time. So we haven't done this in a while. Like we did this a lot during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We want to get some people to come in here and join us. Let me put the.
We did it recently with Riley and it went left.
Well, I mean, it always goes
left.
That's kind of the
what
fun
we do.
of it.
That's facts, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, we did it for like the pre-200th episode, right? Didn't we?
That's right.
But it has been a couple of months now.
Let me just type in this code here. I'm just going to give people a minute or two to join us. But there's the Jackbox.tv, entering code RQJF.
You're hearing that too, right?
Right. I was about to say,
Ooh,
why does it sound
Stan's
like
joining us. All right, Stan.
All right,
nice.
Stan, thank you.
All right, Annie and Ubaldo, you're up next. Come on.
Sounds like a plague of locusts going on outside.
I feel like we're about to get beamed up.
Right. Like, what is that?
It does sound like.
Everyone, look outside your window and tell us that the apocalypse is happening right now.
Right. Isn't that one of the like the plagues of Passover? Wasn't locust one
Yes.
of them?
Locust one of them? Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So
we're
toast.
I mean, it's not Passover, right?
Okay,
So,
No, it's
If
usually
anyone
goes
doesn't
around
want to
Easter.
join it into play, they can also vote on who has the best answers out of all this.
okay.
So I think just to keep this going along, we're going to go ahead and get started. So,
All right.
let's
Join
see
in.
here.
Can people join in at any time or just only
Yeah, they
now?
can join in anytime. I'm going to leave this
Okay.
code up at the bottom of the Jackbox TV, entering code RQJF. So if they want to vote on the best answers, they can. We're going to try to keep it family friendly, but that's never really stopped us before on past episodes.
Best
So-
of intentions.
all right,
Best
so
laid
we're going to go ahead and
plans.
start.
Never works.
Stan, thanks for playing along with us.
Yeah, shout out Stan.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping in, Stantastic.
All right. So
I'm assuming it's Stantastic.
there's going to be so basically, if you haven't played before, there's going to be prompts that come up, and it's going to be up to us to fill in the best, the funniest, the weirdest answers of whatever we want to put in here.
Really looking forward to the anxiety this game always gives me.
Oh yeah, or Troy's phone not working.
My phone's not working?
No, I mean in the
Oh,
past.
okay.
You're-
Historically,
I was like, you can see that? Okay, it says round 1. So far, I'm good.
Troy in the auto quips while his Wi-Fi goes out.
Right.
Exactly.
And these are Christmas themed, I'm assuming?
Some of them are. Some of them
are.
are some of the same questions that we used to do in the past. Some of them are some of the same or Christmas themed ones. So
Right. My screen times out so fast.
right, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
First
All right.
questions, or first
I
prompts.
remember how
coming
to do
now.
this now.
Go. The only thing is, like, I feel compelled I feel the need to, like, come up with, like, something very quippy.
Every time.
And then sometimes, like, I'm just like, that's so flat. I don't.
Or you get like something in your head and you're like, I can't say anything other. Like, my brain doesn't know anything besides this one thing.
This one thing, yeah, that's also true. That's usually when it becomes becomes a little inappropriate.
You're done already?
I'm done. I only had 2 questions. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had 2 questions too, but
Okay. All right, audience, what's going on? I probably could have given that more thought. I was worried about the clock,
you get 60 seconds.
Yeah, I
well,
know.
that's not 60 seconds anymore.
but also my personal experience has been like 60 seconds go by, and I'm like, oh wait, I didn't answer the last one. So
Okay, mine are in.
Johnny's in.
And we'd just like to remind everyone watching that the views expressed herein and on this game do not necessarily reflect those of Geppi Family Enterprises or any of its subsidiaries. All right,
Every single
everyone's
time.
in. Let's see what we got. Wonder Woman's lasso of truth has gone missing. She must now instead turn to twerking or 2-day-old string cheese.
How would twerking accomplish the same thing as the lasso of truth?
I don't know. See, I was going to put the Ted lasso of
The Tad Lasso
Ted, yeah.
disbelief.
of disbelief. Oh wait, so we have to vote on one, right?
Yeah, so don't forget to have to vote. So
I mean, I know which one I'm voting for. Instagram's favorite pastime.
and TikTok.
Pass.
And actually more TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that.
That was a
Stan.
safety quip? Oh my god.
That was a safety quip? Wow. That's the other thing. The
Stan gets
safety
it for that
quips.
one.
Did we explain the safety quip? The safety quips are like the